What is going on, my friends? Jake Andrews here with Blues Rock Guitar Lessons, and I'm coming at you with an absolute R&B blues classic from 1956, Honky Tonk by Bill Doggett. And no, it's not a country song. Honky Tonk is an R&B instrumental written by Bill Doggett, the guitar player Billy Butler, and the sax player Clifford Scott. And it's an absolute classic, a standard for blues and R&B bands and guitarists to play, and you gotta know it. If you want to play blues guitar, you gotta know how to play Honky Tonk, parts 1 and 2. And Honky Tonk really features Billy Butler's guitar and Clifford Scott's sax prominently in this whole song. Now, I did another Bill Doggett song called Hold It, and that was also Billy Butler playing guitar on this. But Clifford Scott is another legendary musician you should know about. Clifford Scott was from San Antonio, Texas, so just right down the road from us here in Austin. And I used to play with Clifford Scott when I was a kid. Clifford Scott was the house sax player at King Records out of Cincinnati. And King Records was the label for all of the early Freddie King stuff, all of the early James Brown stuff, and Clifford Scott was really the house band there. So he's playing on all that early Freddie King stuff. Hideaway, Have You Ever Loved a Woman, Sidetracked, The Stumble, all of that stuff. Clifford Scott playing sax, and he's playing on a lot of the early James Brown stuff. Please, 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 and Try Me. An absolute legend. Later he played with Ray Charles as well. So yeah, these are legendary musicians. And Honky Tonk, I'm really excited to show it to you today. I probably learned it first when I was 9 or 10 years old, and I've been playing it ever since. And it's in the key of F, and y'all come in here close, let me show you how we do it. All right, so here we are, up close and personal. Honky Tonk, we are in the key of F, okay? So, and like I said, it's just a 1-4-5 blues R&B song. So 1, 4, 5. Or we have F, B flat, and C. That's our 1-4-5 for this song, for the key of F. And that is really what we're going to be playing over the entire time. All right, so let's hop into it. The first verse is Billy Butler starting himself without the band, and he is kicking off with that really iconic R&B bass line rhythm part. All right, sounds like this. All right, so you see it's just like a regular 12-bar blues, Jimmy Reed, same shape as a Chuck Berry. It's all in the way he's playing it. He's individually playing those notes. All right, so if you haven't done this before, you're going to have to maybe build up to it, because F, this is going to be the trickiest place on the neck to play this kind of thing, because you see we're stretching all the way over here, okay? And so really it comes from our bar chord shape or a power chord shape. And then we're swinging our pinky over here to get the 6, okay? Now, if you can't quite get this, here are a few tips for you. Whether you're doing this song or a Chuck Berry rhythm or a blues, whatever it is. Normally, you know, we're playing a bar chord and we're putting our emphasis back here on this side. For this kind of rhythm, really you just want to set your fingertip on those 2 notes. Once you're on that tip, it doesn't matter what's going on underneath there. We're not trying to flatten those strings out or anything. But what you want to do is really keep those fingers straightened out so you can really swing your wrist and your forearm in, and that will give you some more leverage to get your pinky way over here without literally trying to break it off and stretch it over, okay? And like I said, if you've never done this before, well, you're going to be in for a surprise on your wrist. But you might start up the neck where everything's tighter and gradually work it back to where you can do it at F. One more tip that some players use is their middle finger, okay? That works fine. I prefer using my ring finger because it's the same fingering as if I was doing a power chord or a bar chord. Okay, so when you get it, we're going to do this. We're going to alternate. We're going to pick each string individually, and we're going to go. Okay, just twice like that. Now it's a quick change to the 4, which is B flat. And we're going to basically do the same thing, but we're going to stretch out and get this note here. Watch this. You hear that? That note is the flat 7. All right, so as soon as you did that, come back to F and stay here four times, okay? Wow, you saw what I did there? That is something he throws in. He doesn't throw it in every time. He gets that note out there, and that's pretty advanced. If you can't do it, just leave it off and do this 4 times. Okay? Now, but if you do want to get that, you might have to open up your hand to reach that note, okay? Or use your middle finger. And the other option as well is getting that note here. So you could get it here on the D string, bar that. Once again, you might have to open up your hand. So those are my tips on how to get that sound, but it's fine to leave it off on this one. The main one you want to get that extra note is when we come up here to the 4 and the 5, because that's really the signature sound of the lick. All right, so now that we've got that, let's go back through the order. Here we go. Twice, bring it up to the 4. And then we'll bring it back here and just do it 4 times regularly. Now we go back to the 4 for the full length, and we're going to go. You see that? So it's 4 rounds. The first 2 are normal. And then we're going to go straight from the low E string note and then back to. So that's kind of tricky, but it sounds cool. It sounds like. All right, now we're back to F, back to the 1, and do it 4 times again. Now take it up to the 5, C, and we're going to go. So we just do it once and we go straight to those notes once again. Same thing on the 4, B flat. And then take it back here and do. And then follow it up with. So here at the end we do it, I would say 2.5 times. Here we go. And then we can fall into a 7th chord here. Right there it'd be C7. It's like a C chord with our pinky on the 3rd string. And don't strum the 2 E strings. Woo! All right, so this is the iconic intro rhythm guitar part. Let me play it through one more time. All right, so verse number 2, as far as guitar goes, is identical. He just repeats that exact rhythm part. But that is the point in the song when the tenor sax, Clifford Scott, comes in, and he's playing his sax line there. So on the video, when I did the performance, I switched over and played that sax part because it's such a cool rhythm part. And it sounds like this on the 2nd verse, okay? So I come out of the 1st. Okay, so 2nd verse, as far as the guitar goes, is identical. He repeats that whole rhythm part identically for the 2nd verse. Now that is the verse when the tenor sax comes in, Clifford Scott, and he's playing his part. So I like to throw that part in. I'm duplicating it on guitar just because it's such a cool part and it fits in. If you were playing by yourself, you might just continue doing the rhythm, but if you were jamming with the band or with the track, you might try doing this part that the sax is doing. And it sounds like this. I'm coming out of the first verse. Yeah, love it, man. Such a cool part. So it's all just built on these double stops. I'm really just getting the second and third string, and I'm starting out major. I'm going, so see how I'm flat? I'm barring that first finger and just getting the middle finger. See, it's like part of our F shape. So I'm doing it syncopated like this. I'm going twice. I'm barring it right here. And then I'm going into that minor pentatonic and back here. Okay, so I go. And it has that shuffle rhythm, that da 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 da. So I'm going to do it once, and because it's a quick change, I'm going to immediately take it minor here and go. And then go right back to major twice. Right back to minor twice. And then again back to major twice. Now on the 5, the C, I'm going to just simply take it up here a full step and do just like the minor one here, but it's going to be here. So in isolation it sounds a little funny, but it works perfectly. Back to the 4. And back major to the 1. So I kind of take it back and end there. So I do kind of 1.5 on the end. Up to that 7th chord, okay? And one more time, it sounds like 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like I said, that part is really optional. Either play that or repeat the first verse entirely. All right, now we are into the first real lead guitar verse. Okay, this is Billy Butler coming in on the lead, and he's going to do 3 full lead verses before he takes a break. Okay, so we are starting off, we're down here in our first position of F, and his playing is really a mix of major and minor this whole time, okay? So this first lick, after we come out of the 5 on the second verse, okay, then he goes, right, let's look at that lick. So now this is the way I'm playing it. On the second string, I'm using my ring finger and I'm sliding into this major note here. It's the 6. So instead of only our minor pentatonic notes, we're getting some of these major ones here as well. Very common in blues and rock, mixing it up like that. So first lick, and then pick it again and slide it all the way up to the high F. Okay? Get on this note here and do kind of a slight bend. So pick it twice. And then same bend on the second string just once. Pause, and then watch this. Hammer on the third string and go up to the 5th. So the whole lick again is 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah! Repeat it. Woo! Little vibrato. And this is the really cool part. He's playing over the 5. So he's doing this walk up. Well, he's starting on the 5 and taking it back to the 4. And once again, this comes just from my major, C, and B flat. Middle finger on the third string, on the major third, and my first finger on the first string. Okay, so I'm basically gonna take it from here back. All right. So it's all in how you pick it, okay? So you could alternate it with a pick. I like to hybrid pick it, so I'm picking the third string, and with my middle finger I'm plucking the first string. Either way works, okay? Now if we slow this way down and count it out, we're gonna start here at the 7th fret on the third string, and I'm gonna go to middle and then take my middle up here. Okay? And then we're gonna alternate with that first string. Watch this. So it's like 4 1/2 because we end back on this third string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 1/2. Take it to the middle and do just, okay, third, first, third. And then back here, finally go 3 full times. Once again, that is. That's it, you got it. Now, take it back here, and this is how I play it. This is how I'm hearing it. Okay, so I'm hearing him slide this, and I just like doing this anyways, but I go here on my ring finger first string, and I go. So I take it, slide back, and then slide back out. So that's how I'm playing this. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. Slight hesitation and then go. That's the rest of the lick, okay? So right here, this is all minor pentatonic. First up to second string. Repeat it, okay? And then I reach my ring finger out and get this sharp note here, this blues note. Up to the root note. And then hammer and do an extra, I hammer and then do down, up, down. Back, and finally up to the 5th. All right, so that whole lick sounds like. Okay, whole verse again. Let's try it. First lick. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Da da. Da da. Da da. Da up to here. All right. So second verse, we come in with this really cool minor little arpeggio here, and it sounds like this. You hear that? Okay, so this little kind of D minor thing right here. And we're doing triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm picking it from the first string up. So I'm going. You could down pick it or you could alternate it. So do 4 of those triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now I take this, I flat that, okay, that flat 5, and I go, same thing. Then take it back here again and do 4 times, all right? Now at that point, I come up and play this cool lick that's really built off of an F9. And you hear this a lot in blues, blues and jazz. I hear it in, or heard Stevie Ray Vaughan do it plenty. And I go, heard Hendrix do it. Okay, so on my ring finger, I'm on the first string at 8, and I slide up to 10. And then go back on my first finger at 8 and I bar those 3 strings and I pick them up. And finally walk the 4th string back to the 3rd of F. Okay, so. All right. Now, it's funny timing because it really pushes into it. At that point, we're on the 4, which is B flat, and he does this little kind of major minor lick. Okay, so slight bend on 1, same bend on the 2nd string, and then come up, once again it's over that F shape. Hammer on the 3rd string. Again. And take it back to F and do the same exact lick 1 time. Okay. So let's stop there and hear what we have so far, okay? That's very important, how he pushes right into it. And see, we've just ended here. Your ring finger has to come down right there on the 8th fret. Back here. Now he plays this lick And there's two ways we could do this, okay? He's really getting it here on the open strings, which are, once again, major pentatonic. He's going 5th string, open 4th string, root, and then to the open 3rd string. Back to the open 4, root. And then kind of slides into that 3rd. So that's how he's playing it. I also really like playing it here on the 5th string, 1st finger, and doing this fingering. Because at this point I slide, okay, and that puts me very close up to the next part, which is that same little, and then this ending lick is the same as well. Okay, so you can do that lick here or here. Either way, you've got to get right to that. Okay. All right, let's play this whole second lead verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Verse number 3. Now we're really cooking. Check this out. He's getting these little 2-note fills here, and once again, this is how I've always played it. He may be using a slightly different fingering, but this is how I've found to be an easy way to play it. He's going, I'm going to do it slowly. Okay, let's stop there. So I'm getting this 2-note F. It's coming from that bar chord right there. And then I'm taking it up, kind of part of the 6. Right here, and this is in my high F position. So same shape, same 2 strings. The timing is it's dun da da dun. And the way I pick it is down, down, up, down. Again. Now take this F minor and do it twice. And then I like to do it here. I slide in on the 3rd and 2nd to my F chord, and then jump back here behind me to that F right there. So I go, and then, so it's, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pause. Now take it back minor and do it 4 more times. And repeat this now. All right, are you with me? We're getting close, y'all. Now we're on the 5 chord, which is C. And we're coming up here with this F shape, but we're doing a 6. So a C6. What that means is my pinky is on the 2nd string here. That is the 6 in the major scale. And because of that, I don't have to bar those first 2 strings. I can just put my first finger on the 1st string. Incidentally, this shape here is identical to my 7th chord shape if I raise everything up a string, okay? So the 7th chord on top is identical to the 6th chord down here. So that's a very interesting fact there. And this is what he's playing. He's taking this chord back, the 5 to the 4. He goes. And then we go to our last lick. Okay, and that's the end of the lead for right now. The way I'm strumming this is dun 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 da da dun 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 da da dun dun dun. Okay, so I'm doing downstrokes. You see that? So down, down, up, down. Now repeat it all here. Once again, I'm doing 3 downstrokes and then doing down, down, up, down, and walk it back, pause, do all of that again. And now take it back here. We're going to do another minor pentatonic lick, pinky or ring finger, and I go walk it back on the 2nd string. Go out to the blues note, to the root. Now immediately pick this root note again and do. So I do a open B. So it's kind of going flat on the 5. And then bar the 3rd and 2nd string here and go. That's kind of played off of the B flat there. And slight bend on the 1st string. Same thing on the 2nd string. That lick again is. All right, let's do this whole verse a little faster now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. All right, so at that point, we're immediately back into the regular rhythm. This is all sax solo now, okay? Now what's really cool on the rhythm part, Billy Butler switches over to some other variations, okay? So the next sax solo verse, he goes into this part. he's going to play this riff the whole time. So real easy. He's going to hit the root note here on F, go down to the octave, so, and then jump up on the low E here on my ring finger, and I'm going to slide. Okay, I'm going to slide. Bop, 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 bop. Listen to this. Immediately, quick forward, do the same lick here on B flat. Everything's dropped down a string. And back to F twice. Back down to B flat twice. And back to F twice. Now you're already here, go straight to the 5 once, which is C. Back to B flat. And finish with that walk up, okay? And I believe he does this 2 verses in a row. Once again, I'm going to do it all together. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Finally, this is getting into Honky Tonk Part 2, which is really just the flip side of the original record. They had to flip it over, flip the 45 over to continue the song because they ran out of room. So Honky Tonk Part 2 is just picking up where we left off. And now Billy Butler goes into one more cool kind of bass line rhythm variations. And it sounds like this. So very familiar bass line, sped up in rock and roll and R&B and blues, okay? And all I'm doing is starting here on the root note twice. I'm jumping up here on my middle finger and I'm going straight to the 3rd finger. And then dropping down here, doubling it up. And then going back and forth right there. Once again. Now immediately go to the 4. Everything's the same, just drop it down and go back. Twice. Now take it down to the 4 twice. And back to the 1 twice. You're already here, do the 5 once. The 4. And back to the 1. And lastly, for the final sax verse, he goes back into one more of these. All right, everybody. You've hung on for the ride, for the long haul. Finally, we are here at the final verse. This is when Billy Butler's lead guitar comes back in, okay? And this is the way I've always played it. I'm kind of taking some of the notes he used and turning it into more of a chord shape to fill it out, okay? Because I'm not playing usually with a sax and all the other instruments, okay? This is how I'm doing this. And this verse has all these breaks and it's real syncopated. And it sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. All right, so this one's all about the phrasing, the timing, the rhythm, all right? So I come in on a regular D major shape, okay? Now I pick this third string note up here, the fifth, and I go. So I pick it and then strum it the full chord 3 times. Reach over here with my pinky and go. And then strum it one more time and break. Once again, it sounds like. Now I take it minor to a minor D chord shape and do the exact same thing. Okay, and back to the major. Now this is where things get a little tricky and gets real fun. It sounds like this. Okay, now let's look at that third one, okay? I started like the other ones. Then repeat those 3 strums, the same thing again. And the third time I only do 1 strum. Okay, once again. And then I'm going to walk back on my first finger on this third string to the root note. And then collapse down to the double stop. See those double stops I'm getting there? And I'm going kind of rocking back and forth between that root note. Once again, here's the whole part. Okay, very cool. All right, work with that. I know this part's a little tricky, but just take your time and do that slow. Now at this point, we're on the 4, and this is a really iconic riff or lick from the song as well. Billy Butler starts doing this really off-time riff, okay? It's really off-time with the band, but it sounds totally cool, and it sounds like. Okay, so you could do this downstroke. Okay, I like to upstrum it. And I like to alternate it. But as you can see, I'm starting on the double stop and going up to the root note, so I'm going. Okay, and we're doing it like this. Okay, 5 times like that, so it's more minor, okay? So after I do, and now on the next one, we take it major. And that sounds like this. Okay, 3 times like that. So I'm getting those double stops first and I'm rolling up to the root note. And then I'm hammering the double stops here. So I'm barring them right here, minor, and then I'm hammering my middle finger onto that. Okay, 3 times. And like I said, you could do it downstrokes or you could do it like me, kind of alternating. I'm starting with upstrokes. All right, okay. So the minor ones, 5 of them, and then we go into the major ones, 3 of them, and it sounds like this. Okay, now it doesn't stop there. At that point, it does one more. Okay, this is kind of the trickier part timing-wise. Okay, so once again, we're going to start a new one, just like the other ones have started. But at that point, I'm going to get on this double stop here, going out into the 7th. So kind of slide into it. And back to the root note. Okay, so root, collapse, back to the root. Once again. Finally back to this major double stop hammer-on to the root note, and then roll up here to the 5th. Now let me do it again slowly, the whole thing, starting on the minor one. All right, and you'll have to listen to the original song to get the feel how he's playing on the back side of the beat. It's really off time. Now at that point, we simply go into this same chord part here using the 6th chord where he goes. And now we're at the ending lick. Okay, so let me show that to you. We start here on the 2nd string again, like I said, ring finger or pinky, and we go. Okay, that similar lick here. And then I go. All right, and I'm getting that sharp note here. I go. Go sharp here to the blues note. Collapse. And then slide up into an F7 right here. All right, I'm going to play that whole verse one more time for you. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. That's it. All right, and that's how you play Honky Tonk. Hope you enjoyed that one, and thank you for watching. Leave the video a like if you would, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that bell icon so you can get an email from me every time I put a new video out like this one. And if you are interested, I am doing one-on-one private Zoom lessons. So you can contact me at the email address down in the description. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next video. Thank you so much.